Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. I couldn't get my intro to work. I don't know what's going on with that. Good morning. If you are here live, let me just find all the buttons. There. If you are here, if you're watching live, let me know where you're watching from. Say hello. My name is Tina Bickford. I am the Tatted Stamper. Welcome to my craft room. So today, I thought we'd do an easy card today. So because I still have, remember you guys, the last couple of weeks I've been telling you about that virtual card retreat that I did for Stampin' Up. I still have 12 cards left to show you guys. So I want to show those to you at the end of the video. Yay. Okay, so the card that we're going to do today is a really easy layout. It's simple, but it can be very elegant. It can be very fun. So, yep. All right. I don't know if any of you are commenting. I can't see the comments. So if you're here, if you're watching live, let me know. Just drop me a comment and let me know. And I'm just gonna go with it. So if you guys are commenting, I don't know why I can't see them, but I can't. So I'm just going to switch right on down to the desk camera and let's make a card. All right, here we are. Here we are. Okay. So today's card, let me just grab some supplies. I'm going to show you some, these are new papers that are coming out. Let's see, grab this. Okay, so this is called Delicate Dreams. This patterned paper is incredible. So you get 2 sheets of each. It's 12 by 12. One side, the B side. Let me just see. I can. All right. All right. So the B side here is the more plain, basic kind of side here. But then, wowzer. But look, all that beautiful copper foiling in there. Gorgeous. Love it, love it. I actually have an alternate card that I'm going to show you that I used this paper on. So there's that one there. This one is just kind of a look gray, like watercolor kind of thing. And then look at that. Awesome. And then the B side here. This is actually the paper that we're going to work with today, I think. This is the one, maybe not. Well, maybe not. This is one of my alternates. This is the one, the sample. Yeah, we'll use this one. So this side here, and this side here. So cool. Love it, love it. I love that. This one here, just basic, you know, no fancy. And then this side with all of that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, hello, Lynn. Lynn is saying hello from Southern New Jersey. This is that beautiful Secret Sea. And then this paper here with this side. This is, I'm actually going to show you an alternate that uses this one also. Gorgeous. Love it, love it. And then this one, just like that basic gray, the watercolor type. And then look at all that shine in there, that copper foiling. So pretty. Love it, love it. One of the new products that I got that showed up this week. Yay. All right. So we are going to Let me just grab this. I'm going to slip these back into my sleeve. And I'm just going to grab the piece that I cut. This one here, because I've already cut into this sheet here. So this sheet it's got all kinds of, it's got the Secret C in it. It's got what to me looks like the boho blue, which is why I brought the boho blue in. It's not, boho blue is not one of the colors listed on the back of the pack, but it's got the mossy meadow. It's got crumb cake in it. It's got a lot of color going on here. So I'm going to actually bring in the boho blue because I thought that would look nice with this. It would bring out that lighter color blue. So I've got my boho blue. All right, let's just set those things aside. I'm going to bring in my card base. Facebook is showing. Yeah, hi Lisa, thank you. So Facebook is showing, but not YouTube. You're all on YouTube. Weird. Okay. I'm not sure why I can't see the comments from YouTube, but keep commenting. Just keep commenting because I will go back and look at all of the comments that you guys are giving me, and I hope that I can figure out why that's being weird. So I use a third-party streaming service called Restream. It's the one that I've been using pretty much all along, and it allows me to stream to both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. And I should be able to see all of the comments. So yeah, Lynn, I don't know where mom and dad are. So okay, so Mom and Dad got new laptops that this week, and my husband and I went over yesterday and helped set them up. And I think Dad was going to watch on YouTube, and maybe Mom is too. So Mom and Dad, if you are watching on YouTube and you are commenting on the video, I can't see the comments from YouTube for some reason. So maybe go over back to Facebook and watch over there so that you can say hello to everyone. Lynn is wondering where you are, and so am I. All right, so we're going to start with our card base, which is just our regular card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to score this at 4 1/4 right in the middle. I'm bringing in just a scrap of white paper just so that I can do a sentiment tag. So let's just start with that. Let me just score this because I'm going to bring my cutter in and we're going to cut the designer series paper and the boho blue. So I'm just going to move that cutting blade out of the way, score this at 4 1/4, and I'm going to just give that a burnish with my bone folder, like so. Set that aside, and now I'm going to cut the boho blue first. Now I just keep all of the color, all of the scraps, everything right in one container. I label it with the name of the color, so I can pull from any of my scrap pieces. Maybe, like this piece here, I was, apparently going to make a box with it and didn't. I can pull from other small pieces of scrap if I'm going to do die cuts and stuff, small die cuts. I put everything in there. So I'm just going to pull one piece here and put the rest of that back real quick, or set it aside real quick. And we are going to start with a piece that is 4 inches wide. And then we're going to cut some smaller panels. So because this is going to be a triple panel card. So there's going to be 3 panels on here. Plus I want a border around the outside of all of them. And I want border between, you know, spacing between each of the panels. So I did the math. One panel is going to be just 1/16 skinnier than the other two panels, but that's okay. We'll put that one in the middle and you won't even notice it. So from our 4-inch panel here, we're going to cut two pieces that are 1 11/16. I know. So I usually just go, you can do 8/16 if you want, and then count each tick mark after that. 8/16 would obviously be the half. It's 11/16 is going to be that tick mark just before the 1 3/4. So I'm going to just cut two of them at that width, like so. And then we're going to cut one. This will be the one that goes in the middle. This one is going to be 1 5/8. So we're just taking it from that tick mark that we were at, and we're just pulling it back 1/16 of an inch. So that will be our middle panel. So what I did to keep myself straight is I actually just kind of laid these out this way. I have glue on my finger for making it, and the glue just picked up like lint or something from my shirt. Okay, so we're gonna put that aside. Just leave all of that aside. I'm gonna keep this out because I think we're gonna do a die cut from that. And then we're going to bring in the designer series paper. So for the designer series paper, I'm going to put one piece of designer series paper on each one of these 3 panels. So, and obviously you guys know me, I want that nice narrow border, you know, around the designer series paper. So we're going to cut the designer series paper to, these are 4 inches tall. So we're going to cut it to 3 7/8. And then we're just going to cut the widths here. So depending on your designer series paper, if you have a designer series paper that you want to keep the pattern going, then that's fine. You can cut it. What you would do is cut this way here, because you're going to have it, you know, your card is, let me just pull this aside. If your card is in this orientation, you can just imagine that your designer series paper is going to lay on top of it this way. So you would want to cut your 3 7/8 inch this way so that your pattern stayed in alignment. And then you're going to cut, remember, these 2 panels are just a little bit wider than this one here. So you would want to cut this panel first, and then this panel, and then this panel out of your designer series paper. For this card, first off, it doesn't matter because my pattern is, it's not directional. It doesn't really matter if I keep this in line, but I'm also going to do something that's going to break up that pattern just a little bit. So I'm actually going to cut all of these. All of these need to be, we'll do the 3 7/8. So I'm just going to cut 3 7/8 all the way down, that aside. And then for these widths, I need 2 that are at 1 9/16 and 1 that is at 1 1/2. So again, if you have a directional pattern or a pattern that you want to keep in order, you're going to cut one of the 1 9/16 first, and then you'll cut 1 1/2, and then you'll cut the other 1 9/16. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm just going to pull 1 9/16 is just going to be that 1 tick mark past the 1 1/2. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces for my card. I'm going to cut 2 pieces at 1 9/16. And then I'm going to cut one that's at 1 1/2. Now this one that is 1 1/2 is the one that's going to go in the middle. So again, what I like to do to keep myself straight, and you would know, because if you tried to put this on the middle one, it's not gonna line up. So I'm just gonna put those just like that. I'm just gonna lay it like that. And we're gonna set this aside so that we can do a couple more things. All right. On the set that aside. On the sentiment tag. So what I've decided on the sentiment tag for this, I'm actually pulling in the Forever Florals dies. I really love these sentiment tags. This was the bundle that we worked with in the virtual card retreat. It was they're very versatile. You could do them, you know, like this one, all of them, really, all three of them. You could do it tall or you could do it wide on the sentiment, depending on what you have, obviously, for a sentiment. So that's the one I'm going to pull, that one right there. I think also I really liked one of the alternates that I made where I did some flowers in a different color that I'm going to add to the sentiment tag. So I'm going to pull that out real quick and just set that aside. And then from Nature Symphony. So this is actually another one. Oh, Mom is here. Hi, Mom. Yeah, Mom was over on YouTube and just came over to Facebook. So I don't know. So if you're just starting to tune in now and you're commenting over on YouTube, I can't see your comments for some reason. So just keep on commenting because I'll go back and read all of those comments after. I love when you guys comment on my video. So Nature's Symphony. This is one of the new sets that I just got this week too. Love it, love it. With the stamps, it's got just you know, for a great guy. So this is a very good one for like masculine, but I like that they put a thank you in there and a you make me smile, and even the I like you lots. That could be for anything. That could just be for a friend, or you know, it could be for anybody. So I love this, and this is an awesome background or texture stamp. We had one in the retreat that was words, but they were distorted, and stamping that on the designer series paper was just, it just brought that whole designer series paper up a level. So you can use this for backgrounds too. Love it, love it. And then the dies, this is actually I had another stamp set with me. I mean, a die set, but I don't know what I did with it. I had hold please. I had Greenery Lane. I used for my sample card. I used dies from Greenery Lane. But that's all right. I'll just use this one. I don't know what happened to that die set. Oh my Lanta. Honestly, my desk is not that big. I don't know where anything went. But anyway, I used this die on one of the other alternates that I'm going to show you. So I guess we're just going to use this one. So I'm just going to pull that one out. And this is, I love this. It's gorgeous, gorgeous detail. Gorgeous. And it doesn't cut. It cuts between these two leaves. You can see there are two cutting blades right in there. So these leaves, it looks on this side, it looks like, oh, those leaves might be connected. They're not. Love it. Okay, let me just set this aside. And let's do some die cutting. All right, so I want to grab one other color to pull in for those flowers. So I'm just going to pull in. This designer series paper has that crumb cake in there that's really, really pretty. All right, Dad's here too. Dad got lost on YouTube with technical difficulties this morning, but he is here. Morning, Dad. I know I can't, I don't know what is going on, but I can't see comments from YouTube on my restream right now, so I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm just going to pull out just a small scrap of crumb cake, and we're going to do some die cutting. So move all of this aside, grab my die cutting machine here, and you guys know the drill. Die cutting, base plate 1, thin adapter plate 2, and a cutting plate, number 3 cutting plate. Just line those all up on there. We're gonna put our cardstock on there. So this one here, I'm just gonna trim this one down a little bit so it does not take up quite so much space on my. Okay, so we're gonna put this one here, and you can, I like to try to put these, if it's got a long edge, straight edge, I like to put it diagonally. It helps go through the machine without that gigantic clunk. And then I'm just going to put my crumb cake and that little die for the flowers. I'm going to just put this right here. And then we're going to grab the boho blue and this gorgeous die here. Find the best way that fits on there. And I'm going to have this tucked behind the sentiment tag. So if I cut off just a little hair of that stem, I don't care about that. So let's do that. Put our top number 3 cutting plate on and roll that through. Pardon my hand. You can all see my gorgeous diamond ring. Ooh. Okay, there. Pull that out of the way. Oops. All this off that cutting plate. And let's do this one first. This one, I'm gonna grab my, I have my take your pick tool too. Where is that? I just rearranged some stuff on my desk to make it a little bit more efficient. And the first thing you would think I would do is make sure that I could get to all of my tools. But I did not do that. So let's pull all of this stuff aside. So we have our tag. And then this one, this die is so gorgeous. I'm going to grab my take your pick tool. I see it. Here we go. All right, with the die brush. So you can use the die brush just to kind of roll over and kind of help poke the cardstock out of those little relief holes that are in there. Or you can use the poker end of it and poke right through them. Anytime I'm pulling a die out of like a leafy stem, twig, anything, I don't ever start from this end. It's easier if you start from the stem, what I would call the stem, and pull it out. So I'm just going to do that. Flip it over and just gently make sure it comes out. Look at this. Gorgeous. Oh, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Now we are going to set this stuff aside. We're almost there, guys. And we're going to do some heat embossing. We're going to do heat embossing. I'm going to just pull in my little piece of computer paper from my printer. I'm going to pull in my VERSAMARK, my little anti-static bag here, just to make sure that there's not any static or anything on that tag. I have my little paintbrush here, just a little paintbrush that I had in my craft room, just so that I can take any, if there are any little bits that are still left on there. And I am just going to, I'm so irritated that I can't see YouTube comments, but all right, so let me just zoom in a little bit here so that you guys can kind of see. All right. All right, take my VERSAMARK pad, which is a little bit, it's got a little bit of, it looks like little ink and stuff in there. None of that will transfer onto this. And honestly, it wouldn't matter if it did, because we're going to cover it with the embossing powder. So I'm using that stamp that says, "You make me smile." And I'm just going to ink up my stamp. And I'm just moving all over that pad just to make sure I have really good coverage on that. And I'm going to stamp, and I'm just going to stamp this in the middle for this one. And then lift that off. And I know you guys can't see any, there's nothing there, Tina. Yep. I know. Here we go. It's like magic, magic, magic. Love it. Pick this up. Tap on the back. And voila. And it doesn't look like it doesn't look like there's any little bits on there either. So that's awesome. We set that aside and put this powder back in the container. Because wherever this powder is, when I heat it up, if I heat up, it'll melt to whatever surface it is on. So close that up. Make sure there's no powder on my desk. And then I'm going to grab my heat gun. I'm going to pull in my aluminum foil so that I don't burn my desk here. And pull that in just like that. And I will try to do this at an angle so you guys can see how gorgeous this is. This is the copper WOW embossing powder. So heat gun goes on. Make sure it warms up just a little bit before you put it to your paper. Make sure it's nice and hot. And then come over here. And you start heating it up. There we go. Magic. Magic. Love it. I love that. So we're going to just take that. And now we have all of the bits and parts and pieces to put the card together. So grab all of our stuff. Move this out of the way. And let's start gluing. So I'm going to do the two outside ones first. So all I'm doing is taking this designer series paper and I'm just going to glue it to the boho blue. The nice, I got to zoom back out. I'm sorry. There. All right. So I'm going to just glue that like so. I'm going to do the other outside one also. Like so. I do like the liquid glue for this because you have a little bit of that wiggle room. Okay, so this is what I did on the other one. This would look, I haven't glued this one down yet. So on my sample card, the one that I used to kind of figure all of this out, these panels are going to go like this on the card. Now you can do this. You can put this paper in here. This would be a gorgeous card, just like that. What I did was I flipped this over and I made this so that it was so that it would have that little bit of a break between the flowers. I'm going to do, so the pattern doesn't line up. So because I cut it, remember I cut it from a narrow strip. So the pattern would line up this way lengthwise. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on this card too. I'm going to go ahead and it pains me to put glue on that gorgeous floral side. Okay. But by doing this like that, it breaks up that floral pattern so that it doesn't look like your pattern isn't going in a direction. Yes, Dad likes the break. Yes. And that also means that you can put these panels, because this is not any kind of direction, you can put these panels however you want. So I just flipped this one over because I like that this one has a blue flower down here and then the blue flower up here instead of having both blue flowers down towards the bottom. So that's how I'm going to do those. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to put one panel on at a time. Now, I am recommending, and this is how I did this with all of mine, put the two outside panels on first because you're going to line those up. And I'm going to flip my card just a little bit. It'll because it helps me see those sides. So I'm going to put this one on, and I'm going to have equal border on the three sides that I can see. Just like that. And then I'm going to flip this around so that I can put this one on. And I'm going to do the same thing. And this one I wanted that blue flower up to the top. Okay. So this one, same thing, equal sides, oops, equal borders on all three sides, like so. Now this one, it doesn't matter which way it goes. But we're going to put this one on in the center. And now, because we put those other two panels on first, we can do equal spacing between these two and between the sides. So it should line up with your other two, like so. And you would also have the same distance between these two that you have all around the sides. Gorgeous. I love it. Okay. So then we're going to take our card, and this is, I'm going to have it so that my card is going in this direction so that it opens this way. Now I am going to take my die cut, and I'm going to figure out how I like that placement. And then this is going to go on here. Or do we want to do it going up like this? Oh, I kind of like that. Going up like that and putting the tag on the bottom. And then this is just going to go just somewhere in here. I don't know. I kind of like, because I wanted the flowers to be like on the bottom. Okay. What do you guys think? Do you like the die cut being up on the top and the sentiment on the bottom, or do you like the sentiment being up on the top and having the die cut come down this way? So tell me, sentiment on the top or sentiment on the bottom? Let me know. Let me know. While you're doing that, I'm going to grab maybe my embellishments. There they are. So I'm using these are the Moody palette glossy dots. And they come in, It's the white, the cloud cover, the old olive, and the secret C. Sorry, do not that. All right. So I have 1 vote for the top and 1 vote for the bottom. Need a tiebreaker. So I don't have. I can use the secret C. The other colors don't really. I don't want to put white on there because it's not really. I don't know. I don't think I would see it. So, but I don't really care for the secret C with the copper on there. So I'm going to make my own. Anytime you get the white, all right, so Dad says bottom. Dad's the tiebreaker. All right, so anytime you have white embellishments, you can color those to match a card with your Stampin' Blend markers. So I'm actually going to do crumb cake because I wanted to put some crumb cake ones on there. So I'm just going to come in with the brush tip of my Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to color 2 big ones and 1 little one. Like that. This is an alcohol-based marker, so it dries very quickly, but I'm going to set these aside while we put the sentiment and stuff on. So if I just do, you can see those a little bit, but now you can see I've got different ones, and I'm going to smooth that out a little bit. Better. This one on the side. There. Like that. All right. So we'll set these aside and let that dry a little bit while we put this together. So, all right, Dad is saying on the bottom. So I'm going to take my sentiment, and I just want to place it approximately where I want it, and then take the take that so that I can figure out approximately where I want to put that. Now I'm going to pick all of this up together. Now, one of the things that you can do, if you have your card sitting here and you have your die cut placed exactly where you want it, your sentiment tag exactly where you want it, and you're worried that you're going to move things when you pick it up, grab your press and seal. I have used this piece of press and seal over and over again for a while. So you just need to, you don't even have to pick, I'm not picking up this little piece here. It's not going to matter. I am picking up most of it, and I'm picking up the part that's here that is going to go together. So we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. So I'm just going to flip this over, grab my dimensionals and my tweezers, because I like my tweezers to help me put these on. And I'm just going to, secure one here on the tag so that it's also holding that die cut on. I'm going to put just another one here on the tag, and we'll put one here on the tag and then here. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to put a couple on the die cut to help that also remain elevated. So we'll put one there. And then I'm going to grab some minis and put a mini here. And they don't have to be on every leaf. I think that's going to be plenty good enough. All right. Now, let's pull these. Yeah, Luann, press and seal from just like the regular stuff that you get out of your kitchen. It's very, very useful in the craft room. And pull all of those backings off. I could have used my take your pick tool for that also. Now I have it's stuck to the press and seal exactly in the position that I wanted it to be on, for my card. So now all I have to do is come in here, hold the press and seal, and come in with where I wanted that die cut to be, the sentiment, and just put it all down just like that, and then peel that press and seal right off like so. Voila. And you can see there's a little paper bit on here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect this at all. This will stay sticky for quite a while. All I do is I fold it on itself to keep as much of the, dust and stuff out of off of the sticky part while it's just sitting up on my desk. All right, now I'm going to put these flowers on. I'm just going to hold this. I'm just going to get my precision tip glue bottle for this because it's little teeny bits. And we'll just put just a couple dabs of glue around there. Like that. And I'm just going to pop that on right around in there. The flowers will stick to wherever it is I put the glue. The flowers will stick to the die cut. They'll stick to the sentiment tag like that. Like so. Good, good, good. And then we're going to come back in with our colored embellishments. Now, I have found that I have the hardest time picking these big ones up with my Take Your Pick tool. The Take Your Pick tool that has the putty end, this end right here. This is great for picking up those small ones, but it's a me thing. It's definitely me. So I'm just going to come in and pick them up with my tweezers. I'm going to put a big one here. Oops. And a small one here. And then I'm going to come back in with a big one. Now these typically in odd numbers, you put them on in odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, whatever. And then if you can, put them in a triangular pattern. So and it doesn't have to be an exact, even any particular type of triangle. So I'm just putting 2 here. So I'm just going to kind of come down this way, somewhere in here, to put my 3rd one. And there is the finished card. That's gorgeous. And it's so easy, simple, easy, quick, fast. You don't use, it's not a fun fold, but can you tell me anybody who would not love to get this card in the mail? Isn't that gorgeous? So we have that one. I'm going to show you and this is any kind of patterned paper. If you have a really fun, I'll do some alternates for juvenile cards, like little girls or little boys or whatever, like for birthday or whatever. If you have a fun design a series paper, you can make this card look like this layout, look like a completely different card. So I am going to work on that, and I'll post the alternates over on my Facebook and Instagram, and I will also post them on Pinterest. So here's the one that we just made. This is the one that I had made earlier, so kind of the same. This one here, I actually just stamped in the Mossy Meadow, the You Make Me Smile, and I colored my embellishments the Mossy Meadow. So I had those 3 main colors in here. I used the boho blue and the crumb cake for this. So then I just used the 3rd color that's in this paper for the sentiment and embellishment. So it kind of tied everything all in together. So there's that one. And then I did this one here. So this is a great layout, but it can go either portrait or landscape. So I did this one here using that other paper, did that same copper embossing. This one I pulled out the secret C from the paper. So you can see all of these cards, the same exact layout, different, just a different feel. And then just even more, like this is just adding simple die cuts. a sentiment tag, design series paper, die cuts. No fancy folds, none of that. It's just simple. And then if you don't have a die cutting machine, you can make your sentiment tag. You can just cut a sentiment tag with scissors or your paper trimmer. It doesn't have to be a particular shape. So you can make your sentiment tag, whatever. And if you don't have a die cutting machine, you can still do this card and make it look gorgeous. So I will say I am using one of the sentiment tags because I had it, but there are no die cuts on this card. It's just the sentiment tag, which could be a square, a rectangle. It could be any shape you wanted to cut from it. You could fussy cut around your sentiment to put it on there. This is just using the crumb cake layers with that designer series paper. This is the back side of this paper. So I'm not using two different papers here. It's one paper. And then I just used the white embellishments on this one because I wanted it to be very, very subtle. So this one here, more bold with that secret C, using the one color die cut, adding a little bit of flowers, but there are no other embellishments on here. I didn't put any other embellishments on here. This is the card that we did. I wanted to keep that pattern in order. So I just did 3 right in a row with that and kept those patterns together. So then there's the last card. So how are we doing on time? Excellent. I'm going to be able to show you the cards. So the first thing I just wanted to, I participated in, through my Stampin' group, a secret stamper. Card swap kind of. It was really just if you you agree to participate in the secret stamper, and just by the end of February, at any point you can send it. You can do it any particular time. The only deadline was by the end of February. You had to send a handmade card to your secret stamper. So the woman who organized it emailed you your secret stamper's address, name and address, and you just sent the card. So I got mine yesterday. So this is my secret stamper card. This is the one that I was gifted. This is it has, you know, nice note on the inside, and she reveals herself, who she is. My secret stamper's name is Terry Phelps, and then she include in the card, it's this little reusable bookmark. So it's a little magnetic bookmark that she made. How cute is that? I love it. So that one I wanted to show you because I got it yesterday. Yay! And now let's look at the rest of my swap cards. You guys are gonna love these. All right, this one here. How gorgeous is that and simple? So I just used that large die cut out of the Forever Florals. This is one of those other tags from that same die set, and this is just Bubble Bath. This is Bubble Bath two-tone paper. I crumpled it. I tore the edges, didn't really do much else. I put some die cuts in here, a little bit of sponging. There's the envelope that I did for this one. Love it. This one here. So I did kind of the same thing. This is just using the cloud cover. Now this one you can't really tell, but I used that background stamp that I was talking about, stamped the two-tone paper first, crumpled it, tore the edges, and then just added my tag. I have a little bit of glue right there too. I just added my tag, and I'll get that off after. A little embossing layer behind it, and I did the inside, and then that's the envelope that I did for it. And then I did this one here. And this is just, these ones are all just using all the scraps from what was left over from the kit. Dog hair. Oh, so this one's cool. These leaves, This was designer series paper that was like that was dotted. It had like circles all over it. I die cut the leaves from that designer series paper, and it looks like you have variegated leaves now. It was so cool, so fun. And then this one has just and this is the designer series paper that I cut it from. So made those leaves. Cool. All right, and then this one has gotten a lot of attention on in that private Facebook group. A lot of people are really loving this one. This is just made. This is that whole I don't know what it's called, like quilting look or whatever. I did. These are 1.5 inch squares that you just lay out on the card. You start with one corner and build it up, and then I just put some die cuts. I colored my white glossy dots, the Calypso Coral, and stamped Calypso Coral and the Happy Birthday and Calypso Coral, and then that Berry Burst layer right behind it. I fussy cut that because this was the largest die, sentiment die, which is what I wanted. So I couldn't do a die cut layer. I had to fussy cut that, which was cool, which was fine. It was easy. But notice this. After I put all of those layers on there, those squares on there, I put that through and I embossed it. But I didn't emboss over here. Now that was tricky because of the way that it had to go into the embossing folder so that I didn't get this corner. So I had to actually put it in one way and then flip it around, line it up with the embossing and put it in the other way. But I love that. There's no embossing over here on the white. Love it, love it. And then I just did the envelope with that Calypso Coral. So there. And then this one here also has been getting a lot of love. So this one is similar to that one that I did the video for the other day. I did that where you die cut it with that big die, fold it over. So this one I just did, instead of putting the big die cut in the middle here, I just did little small flowers. Cut these out of the same designer series paper, so the flowers have a little pattern on them. And then the leaves out of the Secret Sea, and then that just opens like that. And then the envelope for that one. And then another one very similar to that. I did the same style, but I did the whole tearing over here, put that nice like floral bouquet. This is that same die cut that we used in today's video. Just die cut out a couple of different colors. Those leaves that are variegated. Stamped on the bubble bath two-tone paper here. And for this one, I actually debossed this one. I wanted it to have a little bit of texture behind here, but I didn't want it to interfere with this this die cut lying flat. So I debossed it so it would give it a little bit of that texture. And then you can see that from the inside. And then this is the envelope that goes with it. So I did the same debossing on the envelope. Like that. This one here. This one's been getting a lot of attention also. This is the envelope for it. This one, I took just small scraps of the Darling Duckling and the Berry Burst and the Calypso Coral. I embossed, white embossing on both of those, did the stamping on that designer series paper and embossed this one. So there's all kinds of textures going on this card, but it's very cohesive. So it all works all together. The leaves, I die cut some out of just the Mossy Meadow or Old Olive and some out of the that designer series paper. There's that one. And then this one here, using that same, just a piece of that large die cut and the petal pink And I did for this one, I used this die cut here and just did that shadow effect on both corners. That's the envelope. Did I do anything on the inside for that one? No, I didn't. And that's using the cloud cover. Gorgeous. This is a really cool, like, it can be masculine. It can also be feminine or neutral. So this is just using strips, weaving them down in one corner. And the reason for that is I didn't have enough strips to do, you know, anything else. This is what I had for strips. So this is what I used. And then just die cut those leaves out of designer series paper again. Little pop that sentiment up on dimensionals with a piece of the secret C behind it, just so that it was on the outside, so it didn't go all the way around. Just added a little bit of interest to the card. This one of my favorites. This is my diagonal open front fun fold that I came up with. So this, I took the white cardstock, embossed it, did a little bit of dragging for the crumb cake ink. I dragged it along the top to give that the raised surface some color. And then I did kind of the opposite over here. I took the crumb cake two-tone paper, embossed it, and then I sanded the top to make it white. Die cut a bunch of flowers. You can see from designer series paper, from stamped paper, from regular two-tone paper. The leaves are from the two different things. And then I had a piece of, so what I did with this card, I die cut one of these larger sentiment tags, didn't use it, wanted to use it for, wanted to use a smaller one. So I centered my die cut, my smaller die cut. I centered it on the tag that I had already cut so that I would actually get a frame. And then I put this little piece of petal pink across the back, popped that up on dimensionals. I had stamped the bottom layer here so that it would show, you know, between that. But this is a layer. So a frame layer that's popped up like that. And then on the inside, and then I did the envelope to match. And a couple more, I think just two more. This one here, this one was super fun. So this one, I actually took the die for, it's the die for this shape sentiment tag, but the smaller of the two. And I had a strip of, it was like a 1/2 inch wide strip of the crumb cake two-tone paper. So I just die cut the bottom of that, cut just a little tiny strip of that to make it look like the pot had a little, you know, like the rim of the pot. Did a little bit of shading on each side. And it, you know, this is, I emboss this up here. This is just plain down here. But then I don't know if you can see, I'm gonna kind of tip it. Some of the leaves are shiny. I used tape. I put tape, like packing tape on the two-tone cardstock before I die cut it so that I would get that glossy look. And then I did, this envelope, I don't love this envelope. So I tried to do this technique here, but with the Calypso coral to pull this in, and it was just a little bit too dark for my taste. So I may do something different here, but for right now, this is the one that goes with it. And then last but not least, this guy. So I had a bunch of strips, just little strips. I did, and you can't actually see, it's split in the middle. So I did that same embossing with white on 3, and when I did this, I put all 3 of these right up close to each other, stamped one time, and then embossed in white. So this pattern actually lines up with the stamp. And then I embossed the leaves and then fussy cut around those. And then I just did banner ends for this card. Little bit of distressing and inking on the side there. And this is the envelope for this one. So yay, 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 yay. So that's it. I'm going to flip the camera back to me just in time to say goodbye. So I am, here I am. So I am, I'm going to have the description of the video all done. I just need to save it as soon as I finish this video. So in the description of my YouTube video, you will find a link to my Pinterest board. You will find a link to my Facebook page and my Instagram page. You can follow me on all of those socials. You can see all of the cards and the alternates. I love YouTube, but I can't post all of the alternates there every week. So it's easier for me just to post them all over on Facebook and Instagram and my Pinterest board. So consider following me on any of those socials. If you're watching my YouTube channel, if you're watching this video right now and you are not already subscribed to me on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you want to get notifications when I go live, which is every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just click that little bell next to the subscribe button and you will get notifications every time I go live. So I will be back, like I said, every Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be back next Sunday, and I am going to do a fun fold card next Sunday. So make sure that you come back and watch me next Sunday. And yeah. Just checking again. I'm so sorry. Like if you're watching and you're on YouTube and you're commenting, I don't know why I can't see the comments, but as soon as I end this, I'm going over to YouTube and watching I'm gonna go look at your comments so that I can see all of them because I just love all of the comments on the videos. Dad is saying another job well done as always. Thank you, Dad. Love you. And Mom is saying, thanks again for helping us yesterday. Of course, that's right. I spent Valentine's Day with my mom. Anyway, I will see you guys next Sunday. I hope that you have a great week. Until then,